Yeah, so good morning everybody. Today we can use my webcam again, so that works already again. Wonderful. Actually, it was restarting the computer. That is an old trick for IT people. It works in 80% of the cases. So welcome to everybody on YouTube, LinkedIn, Instagram and Twitter. Yeah, so we are extending our audience. And yeah, so this morning I brought my Signavio cap. Yeah, SAP Signavio here. I like that. Yeah, it's always helpful in these days when there is so much sun shining, obviously. And I hope it's not too hot for you. So in the morning even it's good because it's still cold. But I can really recommend these Signavio caps. If you have a chance to get hold of one, take one or many. So that is a good thing. But not only the cap, obviously, also the tool Signavio is very helpful. And this is what we are trying to explore a little bit today about our topic, which is Signavio Process Explorer for S/4HANA Cloud. So we have today 20 minutes, then I have another meeting. And yeah, therefore today let's dive right into the topic. Let's not have a poll today and not have questions and answers on Menti today, because we can in this way best use our time today. So what is it? Signavio Process Explorer for S/4HANA Cloud and other solutions of SAP. It was rolled out by SAP on the 17th of January this year. And yeah, so let's have a look at this. So after you logged in, this is how it looks like. And what do we have? Yeah, so we have welcome to the SAP Signavio Process Explorer. Yeah. SAP Signavio Process Explorer provides access to accumulated process knowledge in a central location. Yeah. So what does it contain? It contains actual process models. I don't know about you, if you have always already tried to create process models, or if you are maybe an experienced and seasoned expert in this, maybe. So you know, creating process models is a challenge. Still, obviously, it can be mastered, but it is a different thing if you sit before a blank page, yeah, and start to model, or if you have already content available that has been already used or created by others and has been already used and tested, for example. Yeah, so that is about this accumulated process knowledge about SAP solutions. Yeah. It is very helpful if you don't have to start from a blank page. Even the things, the models, the process models that this Process Explorer contains, it can be reused. Yeah. This means they can be exported and also imported if you have a SAP Signavio workspace into your workspace, and then you can use them as a starting point for your projects. Or even maybe it is not yet an SAP implementation project, maybe it is a previous analysis of that. It's also possible to use it as a, for example, proof of concept. Yeah. So the solution is part of the One Process Acceleration Layer practice, which provides a new way to transform and run your business. Sometimes people wonder, is it called Process Explorer or One Process Acceleration Layer? So the One Process Acceleration Layer is the bigger umbrella project, and the Process Explorer is the tool actually. And then this is also what I always say in these last days, yeah? It is a new way to transform and run your business. Yeah, so it is disruptive because everything changes now. Yeah, it already has changed. The way that we will do SAP projects in the future for most of those around the globe will change in the future. And yeah, for us and for some it has already changed so far. As you know, we have doing this since 13 years as a long living partnership with SAP Signavio. So what does it contain actually? The SAP Signavio Process Explorer provides access to, I said that already, value accelerator support the journey from strategy to operations. So what does it mean? So there's a circle in implementation or digital transformation, I should say, for an SAP project, for example. There is strategy, there is design, there is implementation, and there's operations. And these process model can support each and every of those phases. Yeah? So there are different entry points, as we can see. We have, for example, the SAP product portfolio here. We have another view which consists of capabilities and processes. We have another view for industries, and also there are some things to come, as you can see in the in the light gray, strategic objectives and metrics. So it is still evolving. Yeah, and on the right side we see that already partners are active. Yeah, as I already said, there are long-living partners with SAP Signavio. Obviously, we are one of them, AdaPro. And there are other partners, well-known like Ernst & Young, Fujitsu, Capgemini. Bearing Point is new. I think they entered this week, maybe, PwC. Tata Consulting, and so on and so on. Visual Enterprise Share, you know, Share, which is famous in German. So these we partners, we have also contributed content, best practice content from our long years practices into that. So, but let us have a deeper look about the SAP S/4HANA part. So let us dive into it. SAP product portfolio, we click on this plus here, and we dive in a little bit. So maybe make this big, it's better to see. So what do we have? Here we have different products from SAP, product portfolio. SAP S/4HANA, SuccessFactors, Intelligent Spend and Business Network, and here we see also in a light gray, Customer Experience and Business Technology Platform. So seemingly there's more to come. Okay, today we will focus on SAP S/4HANA and dive into that. So by the way, the tool we are using here, it's for the collaboration. It's the collaboration hub, and it is for displaying this process model. So what do we have here? We have a lot of functionalities. So there's a certain order into that. I think it's clear. Finance is a big part of S/4HANA Cloud. Therefore, we have many of these. We have manufacturing. We have R&D engineering. I hope you can read that. I always make this a little bigger because I always know the challenge of being able to read that. Manufacturing, R&D and engineering, sales is a very important part, service, and also sourcing and procurement. And there we have supply chain, and also here we see some solution for specific industries. So if we go one step back, we have process building blocks, I could say, maybe for those different lines of business. So for example, what do we have? Accounting and financial close, advanced accounting and financial close, advanced financial operations, and so on and so on. So we can see even in a first glance what functional building blocks SAP S/4HANA supports in a graphical way, so we can explore it. We can learn if it covers this and that, for example. So maybe we dive a little bit into order and contract management. Yeah, and there we see also very many of these process building blocks. Yeah, so that might be somewhat overwhelming. Yeah, I agree to that. But yeah, let us have a closer look what this consists of. So choose any of these, for example, free of charge delivery here. Yeah. So these are all the functionalities and so-called scope items that SAP S/4HANA supports in the area of order and contract management. Yeah, they have a certain like abbreviation, BDA for example. This is how it is called, the so-called scope item ID. Yeah. So what do we have here? A description of the free of charge delivery and what it means. And also we can have a diagram for that. Here we have a selected diagram. We'll go into that. And by this, then we are in the middle of this process diagram for this functionality, for example, free of charge delivery. We can have a look at that and can see, okay, what do we have here? We have certain roles: internal sales representative, shipping specialist, billing clerk, which is good to know because these are best practice roles from SAP. Yeah, you will find them also as a basis for every system tests. Yeah, and they are always a very good starting point for a project. Very helpful. And then the different activities: create sales order, create delivery, execute picking, check batches, optional, post goods issue, create pro forma invoice, create customer invoice, and sales order fulfillment, monitoring, optional, and then end of this process building block. So if you are more in those projects, if you are more using S/4HANA practically, you will see how practical it is to have such a process diagram, because it shows you obviously what can be done, how it is done, and in what sequence it can be done. Yeah? So let's go back. Yeah, okay, now you might think, okay, that is kind of overwhelming, and I agree. I think this maybe is a lot to digest. Yeah, so there are very many of these scope items here: external billing and sales contract management. I make it a little bit bigger here. Sales contract management, sales inquiry, sales quotation, sales rebate processing, and so on and so on. So I think we cannot blame S/4HANA that it is able to be so functionally rich, because that is what we also like of S/4HANA Cloud. So there are many functionalities, and it is sometimes challenging to get an overview over these. But don't worry, we have a solution for that. Yeah. So maybe this is the feeling that you sometimes have, that you think, okay, wow, there's so much information. Yeah. How can I digest all of this information? How can I understand it? And maybe you are a hardcore type like me, and I clicked through everything. Yeah, I clicked through, as I said, 1,000 of these processes in 1 week, actually half a week. Yeah, and I look at every of these processes, and I don't think I could master a quiz show to explain every of this process out of my mind, but at least it gives me a good understanding. Yeah. But maybe not everybody needs to be so hardcore like me. It is easier, actually. So as we have talked yesterday, there are some end-to-end process. These are lead to cash. I don't know if you can read that. Lead to cash, source to pay, idea to market, plan to fulfill, acquire to decommission, and record to report. And by this is easier to understand, actually. Yeah. So if we go back. So let's go back. And back, and back. There we go. So there are different views also on the same thing. So here, for example, we have processes. And in that we find again the same as we have seen already here. Lead to cash, source to pay, idea to market. This is here, yeah? Idea to market, lead to cash, plan to fulfill, source to pay. So this is a process view. This is easier to understand. And you can also, of course, drill into that. Yeah, for example, lead to cash here. And then see what are the different steps in that process. Yeah. So yeah, and this is the same structure as we use in our programs. Yeah? For example, you know, we have this program which is, yeah. So this is, we compare SAP S/4HANA versus SAP Business by Design. So we are not only satisfied to understand one solution like S/4HANA Cloud, but we want to understand both of them. Yeah. So even in this program, and this consists of 7 sessions per 90 minutes, and we are going systematically. And what do we do systematically? Yeah, this is exactly the same thing as I said. We're going by these processes: lead to cash, source to pay, plan to fulfill, record to report, and so on. So this is a very wonderful structure to understanding everything in that solution. Yeah, step by step. Idea to market, lead to cash, plan to fulfill, source to pay. Yeah. Yeah. So that is a first glance into this Signavio Process Explorer. There's much more behind it. Yeah. So even if you wondered, I talked today about only S/4HANA Cloud. Yeah, but there's more. Even, for example, SAP Business by Design. Yeah, it's also there. It is the thing that we offer here in that. In that Process Explorer also, and I will dive into that in more detail tomorrow. How we can explore the SAP Business by Design best practice processes and Process Explorer content. And with that, I would say today it's a little bit shorter, so time is up because, as I said, I have another meeting. But I think you have got an impression of what this tool consists. Yeah? It consists of many processes to explore, and the thing is, I want to remind us. Yeah? Of course, you might not want to use everything in that, but if you want to start a project, if you want to validate, if, for example, the S/4HANA or the SAP Business by Design processes fit to the processes of your company, it's an excellent starting point to export and to import into your Signavio workspace, and then you can even combine them. And this is what we also help and teach, is how to combine these process building blocks into your individual way and solution of doing things. So I would say thank you for today, and have a great day. Join us tomorrow as we will explore SAP Business by Design content for the SAP Signavio Process Explorer. And goodbye so far.